Hi, and welcome to English-Fabule. Are you learning English? Great. Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get started.
The administration of President Donald Trump made a very big announcement. The United States government released more than 230,000 secret papers. These documents are about the death of Martin Luther King, Jr. For over 50 years, these important files were hidden from the public. People could not read them. Now, after this decision, everyone can access the information. This historic release gives people a new chance to understand a very sad event in American history. Martin Luther King was one of the most important leaders in the United States. He was a leader of the civil rights movement. He fought for equality and justice for African Americans. King believed in using non-violent methods, not fighting, to make change. In his final years, he expanded his work. He started the Poor People's Campaign. This campaign was created to fight economic injustice and help poor people of all races. He became a global symbol of peace and hope. In the spring of 1968, King went to Memphis, Tennessee. He was not there for a big march. He was there to help a group of workers. About 1,300 sanitation workers were on strike. They were mostly African American. They wanted better pay and safer conditions at their jobs. King went to support them and give them hope. The night before he was killed, he gave his last famous speech. It is now called the "I've Been to the Mountaintop" speech. On April 4, 1968, King stood on the second-floor balcony of the Lorraine Motel. It was early evening. A single shot from a rifle hit him. He was rushed to a hospital but died an hour later. His death was a terrible shock to America and the world. Many cities had riots as people expressed their sadness and anger. The official story from the government was simple. They said one man killed King. His name was James Earl Ray, a criminal who had escaped from prison. The police arrested him in London 2 months later. Ray pleaded guilty and received a 99-year prison sentence, but he later said he was not the killer. For many years, people have asked questions. Even King's own family believed that Ray was not the only person involved. They thought there was a bigger plan. These new documents may give more answers. 2. The FBI's secret plan. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, or FBI, had a secret plan against Martin Luther King, Jr. For a long time, the American government agency watched him. This was a secret war. The head of the FBI was a powerful man named J. Edgar Hoover. Hoover did not like King. He believed King was a danger to the country. He wanted to stop his work for civil rights. The FBI's plan was a secret program called COINTELPRO. This was short for Counterintelligence Program. This program was not just for watching people. Its goal was to destroy King's name and stop his work. The FBI worried that King was becoming too powerful. They wanted people to stop believing in him. The program officially targeted many black activist groups. King's group was one of them. The FBI wanted to stop these groups from becoming popular. The FBI used many secret methods to spy on King. They put special microphones, called bugs, in his hotel rooms. This way, they could listen to his private conversations. They also used wiretaps to listen to his phone calls. They paid people to be informants or spies. These spies worked inside the civil rights movement. They gave the FBI private information about King. The FBI wanted to learn everything about his life, especially his secrets. In 1964, the FBI sent a package to King. It was anonymous, so he did not know who sent it. Inside the package, there were tapes. These tapes had recordings of his private moments. There was also a letter. The letter was written to sound like it was from a black person who did not support King anymore. The letter was cruel. It said that everyone knew his secrets. It ended with a terrible suggestion. It said, "King, there is only one thing left for you to do." This was a message for him to take his own life. The main reason for this secret war was fear. The FBI documents said they wanted to prevent the rise of a messiah. A messiah is a leader who can bring people together and make them feel strong. The FBI was afraid of a black leader who could unify many people. They thought this kind of leader would be a problem for the country. So, their goal was to discredit King and stop him from becoming this powerful figure. 3. The King family's story. The family of Martin Luther King Jr. was not happy about the government releasing the secret documents. They did not support the decision and were worried about it. The family feared that people would use the new information in a bad way. They did not want the documents to hurt King's memory. The FBI spied on King's private life for many years. The family was concerned that the release would be an invasion of his privacy and their family's dignity. They asked people to read the papers with respect and to remember their family's sadness. For a long time, the King family has believed that James Earl Ray did not act alone. They are sure that other people were part of a plan to kill King. This belief is a big reason why they do not trust the official story. Their feelings come from their own research into the assassination. In 1999, the King family went to court in Memphis. They started a civil trial about King's death. In court, they showed evidence of a conspiracy. They wanted to prove that government agencies were involved. After listening to the evidence, the jury made a decision. The jury agreed with the King family. They found that governmental agencies were part of a plan to kill King. The jury also said that someone other than James Earl Ray was the shooter. One man, Lloyd Jowers, said he was part of the plan. He owned a restaurant near the Lorraine Motel where King was shot. Jowers claimed he was paid $100,000 to help with the assassination. The King family believed his story was important evidence of a conspiracy. However, the government later said Jauer's claims were not credible. King's children, Martin Luther King III and Bernice King, have spoken about this difficult history. They said their father was constantly watched by the FBI. This history of the government spying on their father makes it hard for the family to trust the official reports. This is why they are worried about the new documents and how people will use them. 4. Why now? The release of the secret papers about King was a big decision. President Donald Trump made this decision. It was something he promised to do when he was running for president. He told the American people that he would release secret government files. He said it was time for people to know the truth about the killing of famous Americans. Soon after he became president, Trump signed an official order. This is called an executive order. The order said the government had to share its secret information about King. It also included papers about President John F. Kennedy and his brother. The order said that more than 50 years had passed. It said the families and the American people needed to know what really happened. This decision was also an important political message for President Trump. He often talked about a secret part of the government, which some people call the deep state. He said this group had too much power and kept things hidden from the public. By releasing the papers, Trump showed that he was fighting against government secrecy. He wanted to show voters that he was a leader who was not afraid to share old, difficult secrets. This was a popular idea for many people who do not trust the government. Other leaders in the government helped with the release. The Attorney General, the top lawyer for the United States, made the public announcement. Her name was Pamela Bondi. She said that Americans have the right to get answers about King's death. This showed that the release was a large, official government action. It was not just an idea from the president, but a plan carried out by different parts of the government. 5. What the papers say. The new government papers are very big. There are more than 230,000 pages. It will take many years for people to read everything. But researchers are already looking at the papers. They are finding new and important information about King's death and the time before it. A lot of the new information is about the FBI. The papers show in detail how the FBI spied on King every day. We can now see the special techniques they used to watch him. The FBI put secret microphones in his hotel rooms to listen to his private talks. The papers also have the names of some informants. These were people inside the civil rights movement who secretly gave information about King to the FBI. The FBI also had internal plans to hurt King's name. The new papers also talk about the time right after King was shot. The police and FBI received hundreds of phone calls and letters from the public. Many people called with ideas or tips about the person who shot King. Some of this information was never made public before. Researchers hope these old tips can help them understand what happened on that day in Memphis. It gives a new look at the first hours of the investigation. The documents show that another government group, the CIA, was also interested in King. The CIA is an agency that usually works in other countries. They watched King because he did not support the Vietnam War. He became a very important voice for peace around the world. The papers show that the CIA watched him when he traveled outside of the United States. They wanted to know about his friends and connections in other countries. Finally, there is new information about James Earl Ray. He was the man arrested for killing King. The papers have more details about his life before and after the shooting. They talk about where he went and how he got money for his travel and activities. For many years, people have asked if Ray had help. This information is very important. It could help answer the question of who helped him or gave him money. The documents might show if he was truly alone or part of a bigger plan. 6. Big questions. The new documents give historians and researchers a lot of new information, but they also create many big questions. People will study the thousands of pages for many years to come. They hope to find answers to questions that are more than 50 years old. What will they be looking for in all these secret files? The biggest question is about a larger plan to kill King. The official story says that James Earl Ray acted alone. But many people, including the King family, do not believe this is the whole truth. Researchers will carefully look for any information about other people. Did someone help Ray plan the murder? Did he get money from a secret group or organization? The documents might have police notes or tips from the public that were ignored. These files could prove if there was a conspiracy. Another big question is about the government's role. Did government groups like the FBI know that King was in danger in Memphis? The FBI watched King very closely every day. They had bugs in his hotel rooms and listened to his phone calls. They knew his schedule and what he was doing. Researchers want to know if the government had any secret information about a plan to kill him. If they knew about a threat, why didn't they protect him? This is a very serious and important question for the country. The papers may also give answers about the secret spies called informants. The FBI paid informants to get inside the civil rights movement. These people pretended to be supporters, but they gave the FBI private information. Researchers want to find out who these informants were. How many spies were in King's close group? What did they tell the FBI about his plans for the Poor People's Campaign? Finding their reports could explain how the government tried to stop the movement from the inside. Finally, there are international questions. King traveled to other countries and spoke against the Vietnam War. This made him an important person on the world stage and not just in America. Intelligence agencies like the CIA were interested in his international work and his friends overseas. Researchers will look for documents about this part of the story. How much did they spy on him when he was outside the United States? Did other governments share information with American agencies to watch him? The new papers could open a new chapter on the international side of this story. 7. A lesson for today. The story of the FBI spying on Martin Luther King Jr. is from a long time ago, but it is still very important for us today. It teaches us a lesson about government power and our rights. The problems from that time did not go away. They are still problems in our modern world. This story helps us understand the real dangers of too much government power. It shows what can happen when a government has too much secret information and uses it without good reason. We need to learn from the past to protect our freedom in the future. The government said it watched King for reasons of national security. This means they said it was necessary to protect the country. But the story of King shows this reason can be used in a bad way. King was a political activist. He wanted to change his country in a peaceful way. He was not a danger to the nation. Using national security to spy on people who disagree with the government is very dangerous. It can make people afraid to speak. It can stop them from working to make their country better. Secret information is very powerful. When government agencies collect it, they can use it to hurt people. The FBI used the private information they learned about King to try to stop his important work for civil rights. They tried to damage his good name. They wanted people to think badly of him. This shows that a government agency can use its secret power against its own citizens. This is a very serious problem in a democratic society where people should be free. Today, technology is much more powerful than it was in the 1960s. In King's time, the FBI used special microphones in hotel rooms and listened to phone calls on special machines. Now, governments can use computers, the internet, and mobile phones to watch people very easily. It is simple to collect a lot of private information about anyone. This new technology makes the lessons from King's story even more important. The power to spy on people is bigger now, so the danger to our privacy is also bigger. The story of what happened to King is a strong reminder for everyone. We must always work to protect people's rights and their privacy. A government must have limits on its power. There must be clear laws and rules to check its actions. People need to feel sure that their government is not using secret power against them. Learning about what happened in the past helps us all protect our freedom today and for the future. 8. A new chapter. The release of the secret government documents is a very important moment for American history. For more than 50 years, the truth about Martin Luther King Jr.'s death was hidden. Now, people can see the information for themselves. This is a big step toward learning the truth. It is also a step toward making the government responsible for its actions in the past. When a government is open and does not keep important secrets from its people, it helps everyone. The release of these papers shows a new commitment to being open. The work to understand these new documents is just beginning. There are more than 230,000 pages. It is a huge amount of information. Historians, writers, and researchers will need a lot of time to study everything. It will take many years to read and analyze all the files. This is not a fast process. Every page can hold a small piece of the story. Finding all the pieces and putting them together will be a long and difficult job. What we know today is only the start. While we learn about the government's secret actions, it is important to remember King's real work. The new papers tell a sad story about spying and harassment. But King's life was about hope, not secrets. He fought for justice and equality for all people. He wanted to build a better world, a beloved community where everyone was treated with respect. This is his true legacy. His dream of peace and fairness is the most important thing to remember. His work continues to inspire people around the world today. The story of King's death is not over. But with these new documents, a new chapter has opened. It is a chapter of more understanding. It gives everyone a chance to look at the past with new eyes and learn new things. We can ask new questions and maybe find new answers. This moment helps us understand a difficult time in American history better. It is a chance for the nation to learn from its past. As we learn these new details, we can think about the lessons for today. What is the most important lesson we can learn from this story?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.